Adam 911.
Hi, I need an officer here immediately.
Okay, to where?
Bay Point Apartments.
Okay, what's going on?
My son won't stop breathing.
He won't stop what?
Breathing?
He won't stop breathing?
Right.
Okay. Like, is he, breathing too fast?
We were going to leave yesterday, and it got way out of hand. And I couldn't get him to stop breathing like he made me promise to do.
Okay, so is he asking you to, kill him? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for a while, and I can't get him to stop breathing.
Okay, hang on one second here. How old is your son?
He is going to be 18 tomorrow, but he didn't want to turn 18.
Is your son awake?
No, he's just not stopping breathing.
Okay, can you get in a separate room from him?
I am.
Okay. Are there any weapons in the home?
I used a knife.
Okay, where did you cut him?
It got out of hand.
Okay, what happened?
At 4:15 in the morning on February 21, 2025, Holland police received a 911 call from Bay Point Apartments on East 16th Street. The caller was a woman, 40 years old, sounded distressed. The dispatcher asked what was wrong. The woman said her son wouldn't stop breathing. The dispatcher asked if he was breathing too fast. The woman said no. They tried to leave yesterday. Got way out of hand. She couldn't get him to stop breathing. He made her promise to do it. The dispatcher asked if the son was asking her to kill him. The woman said yes. That's what she'd been doing for a while. And she couldn't get him to stop breathing. The dispatcher asked how old her son was. 17. Going to be 18 tomorrow. But he didn't want to turn 18. The dispatcher asked if the son was awake. The woman said no. He's just not stopping breathing. Are there any weapons in the home? The woman said she used a knife. Where did you cut him? Got out of hand. He was supposed to just go to sleep. Didn't work. He kept telling her not to let him go to the hospital. Where's the knife now? In the room with him. The dispatcher asked if anyone had been drinking. The woman said no. But they took medicine. A lot of medicine. We don't want to be here anymore. We're done. When police arrived at the apartment, they found Katie Austin Lee holding a large kitchen knife. Officers ordered her to drop it. She refused. They subdued her with a taser. Inside the apartment they found her son, 17-year-old Austin Dean Pikaart. A massive cut across his throat. 2 more cuts on his arm near the arteries. Katie told officers to kill her so she could be with her son. Welcome to Beyond Guilty. Austin Dean Pikaart was 17 years old. The day he died, February 21, 2025, was supposed to be the day before his 18th birthday. He'd turn 18 on February 22nd. He never made it. His aunt Elisa Pikaart organized a GoFundMe after his death. She described Austin as caring, humorous, playful. Most of all, he loved and cared for his family and friends. He loved video games. Everything space and galaxy themed. The family planned to launch his ashes into space on an actual rocket ship for his final destination. Elisa wrote that it was truly an honor to have known him. He will be deeply missed. Austin lived with his mother Katie in Bay Point Apartments in Holland, Michigan. They'd been there for about 10 years. Just the two of them. Katie was a single parent. Raised Austin on her own. By all accounts, she loved him. He was her entire world. But something went terribly wrong. Katie Austin Lee was 40 years old. Struggled with mental and physical health for years. Chronic pain. Depression. Suicidal thoughts that went back decades. In 2020, when COVID hit, Katie and Austin stopped leaving their apartment. Except for doctor's appointments. 5 years. Barely going out into the world. Isolated. Just the two of them in that apartment. Katie spent hours every day on her phone. Social media algorithms fed her content. Doomsday content. World is ending content. She fell into what she'd later describe as an echo chamber. A different reality. And it was a terrible one. By November 2024, Katie's mental health had declined rapidly. She started experiencing paranoid delusions. She thought the FBI was watching her from across the street. She'd spend 8 hours a day staring out her bedroom window, trying to decode people's behavior, prove herself right. She checked all the electrical outlets in the apartment for bugs. When she couldn't find any, she convinced herself they were using mind-reading drones. Then she started seeing videos online about something called wellness farms, government facilities. In her broken thinking, she believed they were concentration camps. And they were coming to get her and Austin at any moment. Katie's physical health was also failing. Chronic pain increasing. Her mind and body in a state of survival. And she was failing. They were scared. They were alone. And depression had an answer. If this case is affecting you, hit that like button so more people can see it. On February 20th, 2025, Katie and Austin attempted suicide together. They overdosed on medication. A lot of medication. Katie would later tell police they wanted it to be easy. They'd just go to sleep. But it didn't work. Austin didn't die. He was still breathing. According to Katie, Austin didn't want to turn 18. Didn't want to be here anymore. Told her not to let him go to the hospital. Made her promise. Around 6 in the evening on February 20th, after the overdose failed, Katie took a large kitchen knife. Austin had passed out. And she cut him. Once across the throat. Fatal. 2 more times on his arm near the arteries. Then she waited. 4 hours. Listening to him breathe. Gasping. Struggling. Dying slowly. At 4:15 in the morning on February 21st, she called 911. Told the dispatcher she couldn't get him to stop breathing. He was supposed to just go to sleep. Didn't work. When police arrived, Katie was holding the knife. She refused to drop it. Told officers to kill her, so she could be with her son. They subdued her with a taser. Took her into custody. Austin was pronounced dead at the scene. Cause of death. Neck laceration. He was 17 years old. Hours away from his 18th birthday. Detective Sergeant Brent Sluter obtained warrants and conducted the investigation. The evidence was clear. Katie had stabbed her son to death. Said he wanted to die. Didn't want to turn 18. They made a pact. But there's a problem with that story. Austin is dead. He can't confirm or deny what his mother says. We only have Katie's word. And Katie's word comes from someone experiencing severe paranoid delusions. She thought the FBI was using mind-reading drones. Believed concentration camps were coming for them. Family members don't believe it. Comments from people following the case express skepticism. Why would a 17-year-old who loved video games and space not want to turn 18? Why would he want to die the day before his birthday? And even if Austin did express suicidal thoughts, he was a child, 17 years old. His brain wasn't fully developed. He didn't have the capacity to make that kind of decision. Katie was the adult. The parent. She should have gotten him help. Not killed him. Share this story so others can see it. Katie Austin Lee was charged with second-degree murder and resisting and obstructing a police officer. She pleaded guilty to both charges. Accepted responsibility. Spared first responders from having to testify. Spared jurors from seeing crime scene photos. On January 19, 2026, nearly a year after Austin's death, Katie appeared before Ottawa County Circuit Judge John Hulsing for sentencing. Her defense attorney Brandon Barthélemy asked the court to consider Katie's mental health, her isolation, the influence of social media algorithms. He said Katie was a single parent doing everything she could for Austin, getting him services he needed. But in doing that, she neglected to take care of herself, ignored her mental health, got isolated from friends, family, society, got caught up in online echo chambers. Barthélemy said getting to know Katie over the past year taught him important lessons. Always check in with your loved ones. Prioritize your mental health. The prosecution asked the court to follow the plea agreement. 60 to 90 years in prison. When given the chance to speak, Katie read a lengthy statement to the court. She talked about her love for Austin, said it was endless. Her heart was broken. It was just them for 18 years. He was her baby, her rock, her purpose. She apologized to the first responders who had to process the scene, the ones she held a knife up to, the detectives for unanswered questions, the hospital staff who saved her life when she was so angry they did, the prosecutor for having to fight on Austin's behalf, the defense team, the community, Austin's father Matt, their friends and family. Katie described her mental health decline. She stopped leaving the house. After 5 years of not being out in the world, it became really hard to tell what was real and not real. Katie said that after a year of therapy, medication, soul-searching and finding God, she could now see that night for what it was. She could see the influence she had on Austin's decision-making. And it haunts her every waking moment. She said she never intended for him to suffer. In her broken thinking, she was saving him. She'll spend the rest of her life in prison trying to process what she could have done differently. And she'll continue speaking out about the warning signs she now clearly sees looking back. The only thing scarier than prison is life without Austin. Judge John Hulsing acknowledged that Katie's comments were appropriate, that she recognized what she did, that by taking responsibility, she spared first responders from reliving the scene and spared jurors from witnessing photographs of what must have been a very horrific scene. But then he said this. Just reading the narrative in the pre-sentence investigation report was difficult because it was horrific. And frankly, the acts you committed that day were nothing less than pure evil. On counts 1 and 3 second-degree murder, Judge Hulsing sentenced Katie Austin Lee to a minimum of 720 months and a maximum of 1,080 months in the Michigan Department of Corrections. That's 60 to 90 years. On count 2, resisting and obstructing a police officer, 16 to 24 months concurrent. Katie received credit for 332 days already served. She was remanded to the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections.
It was just us for 18 years, and through it all, he's my baby, my rock, and my purpose. I fought as hard as I knew how for him to be included. There was never supposed to be a world where I am in it, but he is not, and I am so lost without him. I've thought about writing the statement for a year now, and all words fall short. I would like to apologize to the first responders who had to process that night, and the ones I held the knife up to. I'm sorry. It was unfair of me to put you in that position. I'm sorry to the detectives for the unanswered questions and to the hospital staff for being so angry. You saved my life. I'm sorry to the prosecutor for having to fight on Austin's behalf and to the defense team for the hard talks and the tears over the year. To the community I had a ripple effect out to. I never imagined it would hurt. The hurt would spread so far. To Matt, for taking him before you were able to fix your relationship. Mostly to our friends and family, and the friends that are family. I'm sorry for blindsiding you with such heartache. I can only begin to imagine what this has put you all through. I know there are no magical words to make it better. I've started 100 letters trying to, but it never seems right. I guess because nothing will be right again. At the time, I was too sick to see past our own pain and fear to grasp how much it would hurt the ones we love the most. Being suicidal is really good at that. Because of my health, the shame, and the paranoia, there was so much I wasn't telling anyone. Out of fear of losing Austin, and I see now that would have been best, but I didn't think anybody would ever love or understand the way I could.
After the sentencing, his aunt Elisa Pikaart said Katie's apologies meant little. She's not a mom, she's a monster. She's getting what she deserves. No, I'm sorry, we'll fix it. He was just a sweet boy. Austin's father, Matthew Pikaart, was present in the courtroom. He chose not to make a statement, but he sat there, listened to the sentence. Listened to Katie talk about the son they'd created together. The son she killed. Katie Austin Lee will be eligible for parole at minimum in 60 years. She'll be 100 years old. Effectively a life sentence. Austin Dean Pikaart is gone. 17 years old. Murdered by his mother the day before his 18th birthday. Never got to experience adulthood. Never got to live the life he deserved. Whether Austin actually wanted to die is something we'll never know. Only Katie's word. And Katie's word comes from someone experiencing severe mental illness. Austin's family will launch his ashes into space someday. A final destination among the stars he loved. It's what he would have wanted. This is Beyond Guilty.